Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, I just want to do a quick, brief video about Rachel Reeves and her weird speech yesterday. I'm not even going to go too much into the details of the man who got up and protested about Gaza and Israel and all that. It's been covered to death on a million channels. Needless to say, he was manhandled, abused, physically assaulted and hoiked out by the goons. Then she said not a party of protest, when that's exactly what they are. However, that aside, she gave this speech and it was a word salad. It was a speech of, well, we intend to, our plans are, what we would like is. And she started talking about growth of the economy, but offered no way in which she was saying how she would grow the economy. And we've seen from her actions so far that everything they've done is actually designed to shrink the economy. And since we know they are blatant, two-faced, liars, you cannot believe anything she's saying in this speech. How can she talk about growth and growing the economy when already it's shrinking? And we know that with what's coming down the line, it's going to shrink even more. And of course, millionaires are continuing to leave the country and take vast amounts of money with them. It's hardly a recipe for success. Unless, of course, your plan is to destroy a country, in which case they are bound to succeed. That is the direction of travel. And then she went on in other things. She started talking about building bridges with other nations, which is her code words for trying to walk UK back into the EU against the wishes of the people and without any kind of referendum or, majority request, anything like that. She talked about security matters whilst attempting to raise an army to fight Russia. Russia would take 5 seconds to wipe us out. She wants to launch weapons. Her party want to push British weapons into the hands of the Ukrainians to use deep into Soviet territory, making us a number one target. It only takes one missile tipped with MIRVs and Britain is toast. Quite literally, hot, steaming, smoking, blackened. These people are dangerous. They don't know what they're talking about because they're stupid, or they do know what they're talking about because they're psychopathic. I'll leave it to you, dear viewer, to work out which it is. It is possible that they are both, but that's a very odd way to be. She's talking about wanting to help society and wants to aid those who desperately are in need at the same time as cutting the winter fuel allowance, not raising the 2-child barrier, which I actually quite agree with, but that's a separate point. And now going to war with the unions, the very people who fund them. I do hope the unions take note and stop funding them. That would be interesting. She didn't, of course, address the problem with her own party, the civil war that is brewing nicely, I think. It's festering away, bubbling under, soon, I think, to breach forth like an enthusiastic volcano, pumping it out into the atmosphere, boom, and fallout everywhere. Although I shouldn't use the word fallout when we're talking about the Russians. That's a mistake. But with the backbenchers in revolt, with the unions in revolt, with cabinet members in revolt, and, of course, with the Deputy Prime Minister not seeing entirely eye to eye with the Prime Minister. And that's, of course, before you start getting into the Sue Gray territory, where she thinks she's the Prime Minister and that Starmer is her deputy. And as far as I can tell, that's exactly what it is. She went on about Tory legacy. Well, the Tories are yesterday. Let's talk about tomorrow. They have no plans for tomorrow. They keep talking we must break the Tory legacy. But replace it with what? Communism? Stalinism? No thanks. I mean, even at their worst, you never felt the Tories were trying to destroy Britain. I do feel that with Labour. It's a strange speech from a strange woman. A woman who can't afford to buy her own dresses, apparently. Strange people. They really, really are. Do you know, in the worst of it, Jeremy Hunt, just in case you misheard me, was probably the worst was the worst Chancellor of the Exchequer for many, many years. And now I look back fondly on Hunt and thinking, he weren't so bad after all, was he? Let me know what you think. Thanks a lot. Bye.